Salon de l'Auto de Montréal 2014. It's the 46th edition. For the next 15 minutes, we're going to try to give you the lowdown on what's new and interesting at the auto show this year. My contributors for the next 15 minutes and for next week will be Marie-Laurence Paquin. Hi.
Hello, Stéphane.
Welcome to the auto show.
Thank
and Miranda
you.
Lightstone, welcome to you too.
Hi, thanks so much.
So give me the lowdown. How does the Montreal Auto Show position itself among other auto shows in North America, for example? Miranda.
Well, Montreal has a really unique kind of car culture. You know, we're very special here in Quebec. We love our automobiles. So I think the Montreal Auto Show really has a good opportunity to showcase cars that might not be as popular across Canada. You know, micro cars like the new Nissan Micra, right?
Yeah.
The i3.
Speak closer to your microphone.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, so we have a really unique car culture here in Montreal, and we have a love of small cars. So our unveilings here in Montreal, I think, are a bit different than the rest of Canada in that we like a different flavor of vehicle. The cool-looking cars, the different ones, the little ones, the ones that really have some of personality and character. And that's what makes us different, I think, here in Montreal.
And we're passionate also about racing. So we see here a lot of race cars. Last year was Whitmer was here this year with his Viper, and we could see like all types of race cars. So that's also a little different. And there was one big unveiling, North American unveiling, and so it was the Mitsubishi G4, Mirage G4. That was a premiere here in North America. Most of the time we have Canadian unveilings, but this one was a little different with Mitsubishi.
All right. And is this year the year where we're going to stop talking about a sort of a depression in the auto industry?
I think so. I mean, if Detroit was any indication, you know, just before the Montreal Auto Show, if it's any indication of where the auto industry is going this year, definitely. I mean, there's much more excitement. There's much more a happier state of mind for all the manufacturers. You know, they're excited to unveil their cars. They're happy about them. They're really kind of putting on more of a show. It's not as somber as it used to be. So no, I think it's definitely telling of where the auto industry is going.
Yeah, we are absolutely doing a step in the right direction.
Yeah. We're going to look at a few pictures from the auto show this year.
Right. Yeah.
And tell us a little what we're looking at.
We have here, that's the Hyundai Elantra, and...
Speak in the microphone, here. Miranda. It's one of the first rules of radio or television.
That's why I'm a writer.
The new Mini. How can we forget about this one?
BMW had some really good unveilings. I think of all the manufacturers, BMW really got the most appeal from the journalists. We were really excited to see their vehicles from the new
lineup,
M3. Yeah, the new M3, the i3, the two new Minis. I mean, really, they had a great setup, a great booth, and I think it really did create kind of the most excitement.
And we could see all the cars lined up beside each other, and that makes a very good image of what the brand is right now with the 2 Series, 3 Series, 4
the new
series,
4,
6. Like, you know, it's amazing to see all that all under the same roof, and that's what the Salon de l'Auto is.
Yeah, and that explains that there's a lot of people here today, and there's going to be a lot of people next week. You can't actually buy a car here. You can browse, you can look, and then it's up to you.
Right, and you can win. I think you can win a Volt, a Chevy Volt here if you sign up, and there's a couple contests.
And you can try those electric cars and hybrid cars as well. So you can look and you have all the cars under the same roof, but you can also drive them, which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, give me an idea about the electric cars and hybrid cars. Where are we right now in the industry in regards to those cars?
You know what? It's still fresh, and that's an infrastructure thing. I mean, the auto industry wants to push it so badly. They want the hybrids, they want the e-cars, they want the EVs, and it comes down to having the right infrastructure in the cities to charging stations, charging ports. It's something that
are more numerous now. Like, we have more and more of those charging stations now. Yeah.
Right, they're going to be adding more within the year. We got that announcement at the beginning of the show. You know, they're adding a bunch more ports to charge. But it's really, you know, it's still new technology, and it's still something that is, I'm not sure if they're reluctant to go forward with it, but even the public might be reluctant. I mean, you've got somebody like me, I'm a driver.
Why? Because of the access to electricity and because
you know, it's different. I don't know if you've ever driven a hybrid or driven an EV, but it's not the same as a gas-powered car. And if you like to drive and you like power and you like a bit of grunt behind the wheel, you don't get that with an EV or a hybrid. I mean,
the efficiency is there, though. Like with the new i3, for example, the BMW i3, you have the electric car, or you have the option of adding a gas engine.
Right.
And
All
so
right.
that
A lot like the
gives-
Lexus CT200H or, you know,
Yes,
vehicles like that are real hybrids and offer a sporty option that, you know, it's good
Of
for
course,
drivers. But
yes.
that, I think, is kind of the compromise
Yeah.
that you give when you agree to drive an EV or own a hybrid.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, tell me, what specifically are you guys focusing on during this auto show? What are you passionate about? What are you going to look for first? Miranda.
If I was coming as the general public
Yeah,
coming in and coming
yeah,
to the auto show,
yeah.
I don't know. I think obviously, you know, the sport performance vehicles, the ones that are kind of souped up and the people have really taken the time and care to change and make their own. I really like those. You know,
For
it shows a lot of
example?
passion. On the performance floor, there's a couple of Volkswagens. There's an old Beetle there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It looks like totally rusted out, but it's supposed to, and it's got, you know, the surfboards on the top, and there's a whale tail Porsche in there, 911. It,
Yeah.
again, is
A
gorgeous
little
to
page
look
of
at.
history. So
Yeah,
it's
you're
nice.
looking at these cars that people have really thrown their lives into. I really like seeing that.
All right. And are you guys at all interested in La Felino? You know, the Felino, which is a home built, which is a
Yes,
car
of
from
course.
Quebec. And give me 30 seconds each. We're going to see pictures of the Felino. Speak to me for about 30 seconds, and then we have a guest. We have the designer with us here.
Very cool.
I'll bring him in.
You know what? Again, it's homegrown. It's from Quebec, and really, you know, we're trying to make a name for ourselves in the racing and car industry, and this is the way you're going to do it. I mean, this is a extremely power to weight ratio is so important with this thing. It looks crazy. The specs are just incredible.
I have 3 words
ahead.
to me for the Felino. It's futuristic,
Yeah.
it's accessible, and
Yeah.
it's unique. It doesn't look like any other car. Usually we see a new car in the market, we're like, oh, it looks a little bit the front end of a Ferrari and the Lamborghini. And now this car is unique, and I think that's what you tried to do,
Yeah.
and you did a very good job.
So let's introduce Antoine Besset. Hello, bonjour.
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour. So you tell us about the genesis of this car. How long did it take to build? When did you have the idea? And bring it back to now.
I started building that car 4 years ago. The idea came by when I was racing. I used to race pro a bit everywhere in the world, and I worked with engineer and developed cars, suspension, stuff like that. And at one point, when I stopped racing in 07, I put everything together, everything that I learned, and built my own car. And of course, I really started from scratch.
From scratch.
A racing seat that I had for my Formula car. Put my steering wheel in my hand, put the pedal exactly where I wanted, and I started building the car around me.
But do you have a background as an engineer?
I'm not an engineer, but I worked with engineer for 15 years, especially with cars to develop to improve the cars, of course. So no, I'm not an engineer, but a lot of engineers helped me to create that car.
To work on the car.
Yeah.
And what kind of future? How does that work? What do you do once it's here? We can see it. We can't drive it, but you can drive it. What happens now?
And for 2014, what we're doing, we're building 2 other cars. We already have two built that has been tested. We're building 2 other cars that we're going to still test on track with 2 guys that are going to buy the car, and they're going to develop the car with us. So they're going to come on the track with us, with the engineers, play with the car. If they want, they're going to be able to go on the street with them. But I'm pretty sure they're going to want to put the car only on the track, on the racetrack.
I'm guessing, yeah.
The
Marie-Laurence?
question is, will we have the chance
exactly.
to
Are we
drive
gonna drive them?
this?
Yeah.
Of course, this summer.
Next summer.
Yeah.
We're going to have tryouts. And of course, you built it from scratch, and you need to finance it from scratch. Give me an idea, how does that work? You have to get people interested, and then get the money, and then work on it.
Yeah, exactly. But I had a lot of help. Like I was talking about my engineer earlier. They came from Europe, from the US. Without they didn't want any money. They really want to help.
Yeah.
So that was we are a small team, but really strong. So that was the most powerful stuff that we have. Is a lot of people want to help us, and so it doesn't cut the real price. Let's say.
They believe in the project, I guess.
They believe in the project.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's first on your wish list?
First on my wish list is the new design that with the generation number 2 that we did. If everything's going as expected, we're all set for 2015.
Yeah.
And it looks good actually for now. We were supposed to do that in 3 takes, in 3 generation, and we're pretty sure we're going to be able to do it in 2 generation.
In 2 generations, because you've had to work really hard to get one car. How do we go from one car 10 cars, to 100 cars.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a small challenge.
No, to build one car, it's pretty easy. It's to build 10, like you said.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. But everything's all set. All the jigs are done. All the molds are created already. So we're just waiting for the order now.
All right.
Do you think that you'll pick a specific engine to have in it? I mean, just one. I know you have two right now. You've got the 4-cylinder and you have a V8, right?
Yeah.
So are you planning on sticking to one engine if you are going to build, let's say 10, 20, 30 down the road?
It depends on the client. It's really accessible. The engine that they want to put, I can customize the car really like they want, depending for the brake, if they want carbon brake, if they want steel brake. Even the seats are molded to the driver with carbon fiber, of course, and so it really depends of the customer. Yeah.
Oh no, that's incredible. That's crazy to have that, customization. What engine do you want? What power do you want? Fine, put it in.
It's the DNA of a race car, actually.
That's crazy.
Well, thanks for stopping by, and good luck to you. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you. I
Antoine.
appreciate that. Thanks,
The
guys.
designer of the Felino. To sort of close up, but we're going to take our time to discuss it. Let's talk about the Ford Mustang. If I'm not mistaken, this is like a 50-year-old car.
Yep,
was the new model here, but it was first introduced in the early 60s, right?
Yeah.
1964, the first version of it. And we find a little bit of the retro style in that new car with the roof line, which reminds us of the 1967, the second generation. That was exactly the same, like pretty much the same, more or less. I was not a big Mustang fan, and things might change now with the new model. Seriously, I love it. Yes.
What about you? What's your take on the Ford Mustang?
It's definitely, like you said, it's a return to retro. It's a return to the past of what Mustang was. I don't know. Same with you. I saw pictures of it. I wasn't really too taken with it. I was kind of like, what have they done to it? They feminized it. They've made it too smooth. But you see it in real life, and the fact that they threw in, a 2.3 liter EcoBoost. 4-cylinder. I mean, this is to some people, oh my God, 4-cylinder and a Mustang, blasphemy, whatever. But no, like, hang on a second. It's not the first time they've done it, right?
Yeah.
Like, this again is a return to the past, a return to where Mustang came from.
We're going to have a look at it right now. It's going to appear on our screen. And it's a great look.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
It's stunning. It really, honestly, they brought back a smooth, sexy, sensual side to the Mustang. In the past, it's been very harsh. It's been very manly. It's been very masculine. It's been a lot of lines and angles.
With the bumper overhang and all this.
You look at it now, and it's sexy.
It's sexy.
It's a sexy car.
It has a cleaner look,
Yeah.
and it's very sleek, and of course a little European car, but it keeps its DNA with the tri-bar lights, tail lights, and the sequential turn signal. This is very Mustang, and we cannot
Powerful
forget
car?
about it.
Well, the new EcoBoost engine is going to be over 300 horsepower,
Yeah,
and then of course you still have the V6 and the V8. I think is available. So.
And is that retro look, the vintage look, still something really attractive for consumers?
I think so. I mean, obviously the Mustang has some serious competition in the Camaro, right? I mean, that's what everybody compares it to. And that's another company, GM has really stuck to their roots and stuck to this retro style. So I think it is important for them as a brand, the American brands, to stick to that history and stick to that culture.
Yeah. And of course, they're aiming high. They're benchmarking the 911s, the M3s with that new Mustang. So we see that Ford took another step. Like, they went to another level, and they want something very high-end, and they worked in the right direction for efficiency and no more solid axle in the rear, finally. And, everything makes it more efficient, and it looks good, and it's going to be good, ready for international market. That's the goal.
Yeah.
For international market.
Exactly. It's going to appeal.
It's a popular car outside of North America?
I think it will be now.
Potentially?
It will be now.
Exactly.
Yes.
Before it was a big American gas guzzler and, made a lot of noise. And now, with a smaller engine and the EcoBoost and the fact that it's more efficient, but still just as much fun to drive and just as powerful, it's going to appeal to a greater public.
Of course. And I think on the track, this car will be even better this generation.
Yeah.
It's apparently quicker than the Bus 302 2013. So with the base level, like the base model, you'll have lap times that are amazing.
Yep.
Oh, great. Well, that's all the time we have. Miranda Lightstone, Marie-Laurence Paquin, thank you very much for being here today. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to talk again next week on the 25th, and the auto show runs until the 26th of January. There is a French version of this web show that you can find on the website of Autoblog Quebec. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you around.